Hey guys, so this is a really tricky video for me to get out, and I'll explain it for a few reasons, but my main reason for this is I actually really don't know how good this is. I just find it really, really fun. So a lot of the times I'll recommend builds that are either in the meta, dominating the meta, or they're counter to the meta. This is one of the few builds that I really don't know its power level. I've won the majority of the games that I've played it, and I can tell you reasons why I have and why I like it. But at the end of the day, it's a very weird one to play. So the basic idea is solo lane Rhaegar, and there's three major builds you can go. All of Rhaegar's builds are still open, except for now he has a new possible build, which is just going the Wolf Talons. You can lower the cooldown of your Wolf Bite. You can make it to where you're restoring health and mana, and you get bursts of mana back when you bite enemy heroes, and you can reduce the cooldown of your bite as well. And then when you get to 16, you're actually doing a lot of damage with your bite. I don't like that build outside of like if you really need to go that build for some reason. However, I do really like going solo lane Rhaegar and going either W build or going Colossal Totem build so that I can like flank and drop down a big totem. But for the most part, I go W build. The reason why I like solo lane Rhaegar so much is because it allows you to go solo heals. And I mean, look at this healing from just the W. It's insane. 3 people in my lane. I mean, I guess 2.3 people in my lane, but I still get a kill. It wasn't really me. I like W build because you can do a lot of damage and you still bring something major to the team in late game. But the reason I've been liking it is because double healer is kind of coming back, right? We've been seeing Uther in the solo lane. We've been seeing Uther as main tank. We've been seeing, just some really weird stuff so that people can get double support rolling. So I was looking for other healers who are kind of half healers, half damage, or that they can bring other stuff to the table. And I just have been keep coming back to Rhaegar. He can do all of the camp clear that other major solo laners can do. He can bully quite a lot of people, surprisingly, with just the amount of damage that you can do. And he has almost infinite mana post level 4, while also just being a major bully. And then finally, when you get into team fights, you're bringing that double healer back to the game. You're bringing that awesome nature of having those 2 healers to keep up with everything. You don't know which healer to focus on, and you can't even just focus on the tank because he's getting so much healing. It's just really, really powerful. So right here, I'm denying soak wherever I can. You can see the 2 globes here that I'm trying to focus on. If you're ever going against Lost Vikings, that's kind of what you have to do. This Lost Vikings player is really good, but with that in mind, like I still am going to do whatever I can to try to deny him soak where I can. This is kind of a weird game to show. I just liked this one primarily because you could see all the every little thing, you can see a little bit of its power. While some of the games, like there's been a few games where I've just bullied like major laners. Like there's I beat an Imperius with this before, and I've also beat a Malthael with it. You really shouldn't be able to beat either of those. I've beat a lot of people that you should be able to beat, but I have beat people that you really shouldn't. I don't recommend this on like Braxis or the maps where you're always going to be away from your team. But I do like running solo lane Rhaegar on maps where the solo lane will eventually just approach their team. I love it on Infernal Shrines because you can wipe camps, set up for objectives, and your W build is going to be really, really good for the objective. So I love going solo lane Rhaegar on Infernal Shrines. I don't mind it on a lot of other maps. I just don't like it on Dragonshire, and I don't like it on Braxis Holdout. That being said, let's talk a little bit about the build as we're going through. I take Electric Charge so I can heal through the damage. This was a new change, and one of the major reasons why this a lot of this actually works when I don't think it should. Stormcaller allows you to have infinite mana, so I can double soak lanes, grab cams, and bully people without ever needing to back. So that's why I really like that. I pick up Blood and Thunder, which this is why I kind of like picking Rhaegar as a solo lane rather than picking him as a healer. Is you don't need to pick the cleanses for your team, right? Anna's already going to get her own versions of cleanse when she hits 13, so I don't need to pick cleanse. And now, because I don't need to pick cleanse, I can heal more, I can do more damage, I can do more W's, I can do more slows, I can do so many other things that it's going to be really, really hard to deal with. So in this case, I did a heal. Now I did a dog bite. I'm going to heal again. I'm going to do another W. And then I can always just go and dog bite really quick and lower the cooldown of my heal once again. So I heal again, and now we're all getting back up to full health. We're going against double poke heroes, and they can't even outpoke like they can't even outpoke our healing because we're just healing so much, so fast. Same thing, I can just walk right into a fight. I'm trying to reposition so I don't get stunned, but I get stunned anyways, and then I just heal. We walk away, we get a kill. They did back cap. That Vikings actually back capped, which was awesome. And then I just go into a lane, I do a W, I gain a chunk of my mana back, and then I go down to bot lane because I still want to get soak. So I'm essentially covering the soak that a Vikings is doing. I mean, not quite as good because no one can do it as good as a Vikings, but I'm also getting kills on Vikings and preventing some of his soak, so I'll get another dog bite. They do win this first objective, and that's all right. I'm going to use my W, get all my mana back. You can only gain 100 from your W, and it costs, I believe, 60. So you get an extra 40 mana every time you do it, but then you're also getting mana from globes and whatnot. But yeah, you really don't need to go back. I'm going to hide here in a bush. I think he saw me hide in the bush, but my goal is to hide in the bush so I can maybe get a kill on him and then clear this. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm wasting time. So I just end up going out. I use my W first because I want to dog bite and lower the cooldown of my W. Right as one W ends, what do? I cast another W. I gain all of my mana back. I can heal myself. I can bully him. I can do whatever I want to. It's such a cool build. It's so much fun to play. I'll say that. And again, as far as power level goes, I don't know if this is a build we're going to start seeing in competitive, but it is certainly a build that I really enjoy playing and I've done really well with. I don't think I've lost a game with it yet, but I've also picked it very particularly on maps or situations that I think it's good. I don't just pick it randomly. I saw that they had a lot of macro, and I was like, all right, I think I can handle their macro while also being scarier in team fights. And what did I just pick up at level 10? I picked up Bloodlust. I love Bloodlust as an ability, personally. For me, if you ever remember when I explained one of my old Lucio videos, I said I love the idea of giving my team a bunch of movement speed and then popping my ult so that they're like really tanky. Because I just feel like we just roll through their entire team when we do that. So the same thing in mind, we give movement speed, attack speed, and it gives my team healing. And it's really, really big. So right here, I use Bloodlust just for the movement speed, but with 5 people, or their entire team showing up, there's no way I would have lived there. This back cap was also awesome, and then he also sits here and powers them up with the Empower, so he's melting this while we're going for a boss here, they're going for a boss here, and I do end up dying, which is unfortunate. But I love Bloodlust because when you flank as a solo lane Rhaegar and you drop down a slow and their whole team's slow and then you pop Bloodlust and your team just rolls through their team, there's no feeling like it. It's so strong. It's so awesome. But yeah, we'll see it 1 or 2 times during this game how strong it can be. So our team comp's a little unusual, but they do a lot of physical damage, so it will be really cool. Right here, as long as I'm near the enemies, I'm going to be healing off of my W. So I do that. I do a quick bite so I can lower my cooldown, slow him again with another totem, and then we take him out. I just focus on this. And again, I do a W, and then I do a dog bite so I can lower the cooldown of my W. And then again, just keep doing that, keeping your cooldowns low. And I walk away, 1 more, and that's it. So their boss didn't get a lot of value, our boss didn't get a lot of value, and that's okay. But because we did get a couple kills after that, we were able to get some there. As far as experience contributed, you can see I'm nowhere near this Vikings, but I am still keeping my team in the game. I am also able to take camps relatively easy. You have the same camp taking ability that Rhaegar's always had, but you're just essentially in the solo lane. So when you're taking camps, you will be missing out on experience. So you can't freely take camps as often as Rhaegar normally can. That's the downside, because you will be missing out on experience. I'm missing out on soak mid, I'm missing out on soak top, bot. So we are missing out on a lot. So you got to be careful about doing camps too often on Rhaegar when you're in the solo lane. But that's all right. I still need to cover this. I just need to make sure the team doesn't get the objective, but we can always get it back, so it's okay. Level 13, if I'm going W build, I'm going all the way W build. So I want to make sure that my Earth Shields are coming out, and they're going to be giving whoever I'm dropping them on extra survivability. So for the most part, I'm going to be tossing W's onto like our front line. I pop Bloodlust, and look at this Bloodlust. So this is me just diving right into their back line, all right? But I also gave Bloodlust to my team before I did it. So watch what they're able to do to Joanna, and watch what I'm able to do to their backline. Look at how much damage I do, and look at how much survivability I have. All these heals are all self-heals that you're seeing. I'm healing from auto attacks off Bloodlust, I'm healing off of my W, I'm healing off of my Q, and then my dog bite crit damage also crit heals me. So they threw everything at me and it did nothing. So you can force fights unlike anyone when you Bloodlust and just charge in and slow them and then just W and do so much. And look at this. I mean, you can stop them. I mean, I'm not going to be able to like really kill them, but I can definitely stop them from pushing. And at this point, I mean, it's every time we get into a fight, all I have to do is Bloodlust. I see that Kira was bothering them, so I was like, oh, maybe I can get a kill here while they're doing it. And I probably can, because, again, like, you have so much mobility, too, because you can mount up while others can't, and it's really valuable. So they just revived everyone there. I need to stop at least the catapult here, and then I need to still join my team. But we were able to take the objective. So after that one really good fight, they just never recovered, which was really good for us. I'm going to try to push out a couple different lanes, and I also want to join my team. I'm about to have Bloodlust back up, and I still have that extra healing if I need it. As far as hero damage goes, you probably won't be doing too much. I would say you keep up with the enemy solo laner, because you'll be joining the team fights just about as often. You'll do more damage than you normally do as a healer, only because you're taking talents that are more oriented to damage, and you're focusing more on doing damage than healing. Now at level 16, I do take Rising Storm, so we will have 2 different W's going, and it's going to increase the damage that they do. So what I like to do primarily is just, again, keep the cooldown low of the W and make sure that you always have that Storm going. You see all the crit damages going off. I slow her with a totem, and then Bloodlust, and we just look at my health. I mean, I'm just gaining all my life back. She gained her life back. I can heal everyone with my Q. Toss 2 W's out. After my W's go out, my cooldown's back off again. I mean, it's just, there. You can do whatever you want to. I head down here. I'm going to push this. I can use a W on a minion, too, just so you can see I used a W on a minion, so I can still get that bonus W going out there. Then again, just heal. R, slows, W, that's it. We're just very, very hard to kill. Very tanky. And we should be able to close out the game here. As far as healing goes, you need to remember that I'm in the solo lane most of the time, so I shouldn't be topping the healing charts, but I am very close. Like, for example, I'm almost the same healing as the enemy Ariel, even though I was in the solo lane. And look at the experience contributed. I'm contributing a huge amount of experience. My damage is okay. I mean, like, I'm right next to a Li Ming as far as damage done. I'm self-healing for 2,500. That's just the W healing that I'm doing. And then I'm also still keeping up with Soak. Like, I did such a wide amount of utility this game. Well, don't get me wrong. My team played really, really well. And this wouldn't have been an easy game. I mean, we have 16 kills to 3, and going against the Vikings always makes it weird. But at the end of the day, this game shows really well at like how many different things you can do. You can kind of bully some laners. You can pop Bloodlust and just charge into their team and get a bunch of kills. You can still slow. You bring that double healing to your team, so we just cover all that damage that they do. I mean, as far as damage goes, I pretty much healed enough to make sure that like Zagara, their top damage, did no damage. Right? So Zagara's their top damage on their team I kind of just canceled out as far as healing, and I also did 27,000 damage, which was almost as much damage as she did. And I also covered 14,000 experience worth of soak. Like, I did so many extra things this game to pull it together, and I set up for some great fights with those Bloodlusts. Do I recommend everyone go out and start playing solo lane Rhaegar? No. I just really enjoy it. I will admit that some people are probably going to get mad if you like last pick Rhaegar as a solo lane. They're going to be like, we already have a healer. Don't go like linking this video and making that okay. Ask first, guys. Just go, hey, I've been wanting to, like, I've been practicing solo lane Rhaegar. I've been doing well on it. Do you guys mind if I play this in the solo lane? Don't immediately take it to a ranked game. Practice it a few times in other things. Maybe queue up with another healer just so that you don't hover it and then they take that. But it is something that works. In fact, this idea is rather old. Back in the day when he had Lightning Bond, there was a Grandmaster #1 named Apex, and he played Rhaegar in the solo lane. He would also play Rhaegar as a healer, but he'd play Rhaegar in the solo lane and just dominate so often. And so while you don't have as much pressure to dominate in the solo, you bring so much to a team fight that it's just incredible. And you do enough macro to keep up with stuff. So I'd recommend trying it out, seeing if you like it. I personally really like it, but it does take a little bit more practice with Rhaegar to make it work. I'm also someone that's just trying to find more reasons to play Rhaegar, so that could be one of the reasons why I'm playing this. But yeah, give it a shot. Let me know what you guys think about it. I by no means think that this is like the new meta, but it could be pretty strong. I haven't really seen it too often in competitive for me to say whether it's amazing or not, but at the end of the day, I enjoy playing it, so I'd recommend you guys try it out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to check out any of my other videos.